Imagine waking up in 2026 and checking your portfolio, only to see your XRP stack sitting at a completely different value than it is today. For some holders, that moment could be one of the most exciting in their investing journey. For others, it might be a disappointment depending on how the market plays out. If you're sitting on 5,348 XRP right now, you're probably curious where your investment could land in the next few months, leading into 2026. In this video, we're going to break down what your holdings are worth today, what they could be worth in multiple 2026 scenarios, and what factors could push XRP higher or hold it back. But before we get into the numbers, I just want to say, if you're looking for a trusted exchange, I personally use BTCC. They've been around for more than 12 years, they're fully licensed, and they offer deep liquidity with super low fees. Right now, you can claim up to $10,055 in deposit bonuses, trade over 300 different cryptos, and even use up to 500x leverage. Best part? No KYC needed. Use the link in the description to sign up and grab your bonus today. Now let's talk about where XRP stands at the moment. At the time of recording, XRP is trading around $2.40 with a market capitalization hovering around $145 billion. Its circulating supply sits just under 60 billion tokens. Based on that price, your 5,348 XRP is currently worth about $12,835. That's a solid position in one of the most established cryptocurrencies. But the real question is how much that value can grow by 2026. One of the reasons XRP has remained such a strong topic of conversation is its clear and consistent utility. While many cryptocurrencies exist primarily as speculative investments, XRP was designed from the start to solve a real-world problem: cross-border payments. Ripple has been working with banks, remittance providers, and financial institutions around the world to make international transfers faster and cheaper. The current SWIFT system is decades old, slow, and costly. By contrast, XRP can settle transactions in seconds at a fraction of the cost. This use case alone sets it apart from countless other projects in the space and explains why so many investors continue to hold it. So let's explore some scenarios. If XRP simply maintains its current level of $2.40, your 5,348 coins would still be worth about $12,835 in 2026. That's the conservative case, where nothing major changes, but the project continues to hold its ground. If XRP rises moderately to $3.50, which is a realistic target given its growing adoption, your stack would be worth $18,718. That's a comfortable gain in just a few months. Now let's imagine stronger bullish moves. If XRP hits $5, your 5,348 tokens would be worth $26,740. At $7, your holdings would jump to $37,436. If XRP climbs to $10, which is often viewed as a key psychological milestone for the asset, your stack would be worth $53,480. And in the most optimistic scenario, if XRP surges to $18, your 5,348 coins would be worth $96,264. These numbers show just how much potential upside there is depending on how adoption and market sentiment evolve. But are these targets realistic? Market cap math helps put them into perspective. At $2.40, XRP's market cap is around $145 billion. If the price climbs to $5, the market cap rises to about $302 billion. At $10, the market cap would be nearly $604 billion. And at $18, XRP's market cap would exceed $1 trillion, placing it among the largest assets in the entire financial system. While that sounds ambitious, it's worth noting that XRP's design as a global settlement asset means it's targeting a multi-trillion-dollar payments industry. If even a fraction of that market shifts toward RippleNet and on-demand liquidity, higher valuations could be sustained. Looking back at XRP's history gives us even more perspective. In 2017, XRP went from just a few cents to over $3.50 during the peak of the bull run. That was one of the most dramatic rallies of that cycle. In 2021, XRP once again showed its strength by rallying above $1.80. These moves prove that XRP is capable of explosive growth when market conditions align. If the next bull cycle is as strong as past ones, XRP could once again surprise investors with just how far it climbs. Beyond history, what really matters are the adoption trends happening right now. Ripple has been expanding its partnerships worldwide, particularly in Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America. These are regions with massive remittance flows and growing demand for faster, cheaper cross-border payments. Ripple's on-demand liquidity, which uses XRP to facilitate instant transfers, has already been integrated by several payment providers. If this continues to grow and billions of dollars in transactions flow through RippleNet daily, the demand for XRP could scale significantly. Another important factor is Ripple's work with central banks. Several banks have been experimenting with Ripple's technology for central bank digital currencies. While not every CBDC project will use XRP directly, the fact that Ripple is at the center of these discussions gives the company credibility and increases the likelihood that XRP will be a bridge asset between digital currencies and traditional money systems. If XRP becomes the default solution for settlement between different CBDCs, that could be a game changer for its valuation. Institutional adoption is also a powerful driver. Ripple has been building relationships with major financial institutions for years, and the more banks and enterprises that use XRP for liquidity and payments, the stronger its position becomes. In traditional finance, trust and proven track records matter. Ripple has built both over the last decade, and XRP benefits directly from that credibility. Now, let's balance all of this with the risks. One of the biggest is competition. XRP is not the only solution aiming to disrupt cross-border payments. Stablecoins like USDC and USDT are already widely used in global transactions, and other blockchain projects are building similar settlement systems. XRP needs to continue proving its efficiency and scalability to stay ahead of the pack. Another risk is market cycles. Crypto is still highly correlated to overall risk sentiment, and if markets turn bearish in 2026, even strong projects like XRP can see their prices pulled down. Liquidity, global economic conditions, and investor confidence will all play a role in where XRP's price lands. That said, XRP's resilience cannot be overstated. Many projects that were popular years ago have since disappeared, but XRP has consistently stayed in the top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap. That's not just luck. It's a reflection of its real-world utility, its active community, and its institutional partnerships. Investors continue to hold it not only for speculation, but also because of its role in shaping the future of global finance. So, where does this leave your 5,348 XRP? At today's price of $2.40, it's worth $12,835. If XRP climbs to $3.50, it rises to $18,718. At $5, it's $26,740. At $7, it's $37,436. At $10, it's $53,480. And in the extreme case of $18, it's $96,264. Each of these numbers reflects different assumptions about adoption, market conditions, and the pace of crypto's growth over the next few months leading into 2026. To wrap it all up, XRP remains one of the most important cryptocurrencies in the world. It has a real use case, established partnerships, and a history of explosive rallies during bull markets. Your 5,348 XRP could stay steady around $12,800, or it could multiply several times over if adoption accelerates. By 2026, the range of possibilities is wide, but the potential is undeniable. Holding XRP means holding a stake in a project that continues to push for a faster, cheaper, and more efficient global payment system, and that makes it one of the most compelling assets to watch in the months ahead.